Repricing is what is either going to make or break your Amazon FBA business. And a lot of people think that it is a set it and forget it thing, but it is actually not, okay? It is something that you need to keep going to. You need to keep going, looking at your listings to adjust your strategy to make sure that you optimize the amount of profit that you are going to make with your ASINs and with your Amazon FBA business. What we are going to do in today's video is I'm going to show you my process, because I am currently redesigning all my process, because you guys know I'm trying to outsource a lot of the things, and what I'm working on currently today is my repricing process. So when you try to outsource stuff, you need to have your process clearly labeled and clearly you need to have SOPs that make sense, right? And so you cannot anymore do things just randomly. So I'm going to lay down everything to you, and by the end of this video, you'll become better at repricing. Hopefully, if you didn't, it was free, so do not ask me for a refund. If you do not know me, my name is Mangunza. I release daily videos about selling on Amazon. I've been selling on Amazon for a couple of years now and made a little bit of money. So if you want to learn more, subscribe and like this video so you get recommended more videos. So the biggest mistake that a lot of you guys are actually making with repricing is that you do not realize that repricing, like the whole repricing process, your repricing strategy, starts whenever you actually make your purchasing decision. So when you are pondering whether you are going to buy a lead or not, your repricing strategy for that specific lead should have already started. You should already have an idea of how you are going to reprice that product. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because you should know, you should get pretty much a range, okay, a range for the minimum price and maximum price and a target selling price. Because the thing that you need to know is that the price at which the item is currently selling, if you buy an ASIN today, if you buy a lead today, whenever your lead is going to check in on Amazon, the price is not going to be the same, especially if you do online arbitrage. Okay, if you do online arbitrage, most of the time, the number of new offers is going to go up because, of course, if the lead was not on sale and now the lead is on sale, you are not going to be the only person that is going to see this lead and that is going to purchase this lead, right? This is one thing to keep in mind. So, because of this, the number of new offers is slightly going to go up. Okay, if it is an ASIN that is selling super fast, it's not going to be too much. But if it is a slow selling listings, like some listings that we're going to look at today, it is going to be impacted drastically, right? So, as I said, whenever you actually make a purchasing decision, you should already have, and your repricing strategy starts at that point. You should know a range, you should have a range at which your product is going to tank. This is what we're going to look at right now. So, here's a lead, okay, a lead that if you've been selling on Amazon for a little while, you probably know this lead. You've probably seen this lead on other storefront, okay? Quick free lead. If you are in the South, I believe that you can actually get this at Publix, and sometimes it goes on sale, okay? If you're in Florida, if you're in Georgia, I've seen this in Publix, and sometimes it's part of the BOGO deals at Publix. So you can probably make some money on it, and it's also lead that I've seen a lot. There's multiple flavor, because right there you see that's only roast. There's multiple flavors, so if you do RA, you can probably make it profitable, okay? I've never done it myself, but I guess you can. So let's just look at this lead. So whenever, let's say you decide, and we are going to look at it through the lens of online arbitrage and not through the lens of retail arbitrage. Okay, let's assume that this lead was a lead that I was able to find profitably doing online arbitrage. I don't think that you can, but whatever. So the first thing that you need to do is look at the keeper graph, because this is where you're going to need to determine if the lead actually makes sense to buy, right? And so you will need to determine a range at which you are going to be able to potentially sell this product. So by looking quickly at the keeper graph, the first thing that I see is that usually FBA get the buy box above FBM, and the buy box is rotating in between FBA and FBM. I just want to sell FBA, so I'm not going to look at the FBM seller. So FBA, I can potentially sell this at like as low as $20 and as high as $23. So my target selling price, so my range, the range at which I'm going to sell this product is going to be in between $20 to $23. Okay, let's make it easy for you guys. Okay. And but more than likely, like, yeah, right now probably 21, and let's assume, because yes, of course, I made the graph a little bit smaller so I can get you an idea, because it's not the end of the process. So whenever I buy this lead, I'm going to say that, you know, I want to sell this product in between $20 to $22, and I'm going to write that down into my notes, okay? So I'm going to set my buy box probably at the maximum amount, like when I send this product in, I'm going to set this at $23, probably even $23.85. Who knows? I can put, if somebody got the buy box with this, maybe I can get it. So maybe not $23.85, but I would at least set my buy box at 23 because you never know. Okay, price can go up, and you do not want to. This is the big thing as well. You do not want to set your repricer, okay, under because the price may go up, okay, in the meantime. So what you do not want to do is undercut the buy box price whenever your items gets in stock, because you're not going to check right when the items goes in stock, okay? So what you want to do is set it a little bit higher so you can capture sales at a higher price if you can actually do it, right? So I would not set it at 21.10, I would set it at 23 and see how it goes until the product goes in stock, right? So that's the first part, okay? When you actually, and by the way, we are not going to look at repricing rules. I have a whole video on repricing rules. My repricing rules evolved a tiny bit, but they are still based on the repricing rules that I have on my other videos, on my other video where I actually outline my repricing rule. Okay, so if you want to get all my repricing rule, actually there's a link in the description of every single one of my videos that actually, give you my exact repricing rules, and there's a video as well that explains all of them one by one. Okay, so watch this video and get my repricing rule link in the description. But yeah, this is not going to be about the repricing rules. The repricing rules themselves do not matter. It's more about the process that you use to reprice. The repricing rules is something pretty straightforward. This is the hard part about repricing, right? So we've decided we're going to sell this ASIN at around $20 to $23, like in that range. And so this is the first check. This is the first part of the work that you need to do when actually doing your repricing, okay? This is the first part, is whenever you make your purchasing decision. Now, the second check, okay, the second check that you are going to make, okay, the second bit of work that you are going to make when it comes to repricing is whenever your items become available on Amazon, okay? And so when your items become available on Amazon, your rules are not going to be set already, okay? So your repricer will not be turned on, your repricer will be turned off, okay? And so at that time, whenever you're going to Bqool, you look at stuff that just became available, and at that point, this is where you are going to make your second check, and you are going to adjust your repricing strategy, right? So let's say this is what, so we decided that we were going to sell this ASIN in between $20 to $23. Now, let's look at what it looks like right now. So this is when we actually made the purchasing decision, I think somewhere here. Now we see that the price actually, the price actually is oscillating in between FBA and FBM. Right there, it's actually FBM to FBM. And the price FBA is actually close to $23. So thank God we actually put it at $23 because, and after that, 22. So maybe you can capture some sales at 23, but you see why it's important to set your price at the higher margins, because this is where we could actually have gone into stock and we could have potentially sold at 23. One really dumb thing that you could make, the dumbest thing that you can make actually when repricing, by the way, is matching the FBM price. If you are selling FBA, do not match the FBM price, because you can sell way higher than FBM, and it's a really dumb thing to do. You are gonna tank the listing for everybody, okay? And a lot of times this is what happens, a listing that is selling super great, and then you have one random FBA sellers that decide to match the FBM price with an FBA offers, and because of that, nobody gets the buy box above until these guys actually go out of stock, and it's a really dumb thing to do, to not do it. And if you actually use my repricing rules, you will notice that I never reprice against FBM with my regular repricing rule, and if I really need to, because there's nobody I'm the only FBA offer on the listing, I have a specific repricing rule just for that, okay? But if not, if there's other FBA sellers, I just match FBA, I never match FBM, okay? So that's that. So now, okay, so the thing that you want to do right now is trying to see how you can, how you think the price is going to evolve. Not only the price, but the number of new offer, okay? How it is going to be, how is it going to evolve? So what we can see right there is that the price, during our second check, by the way, is that the price actually went up, okay? Not the price, the new offer count actually went up, right? So since the new offer count actually went up, and we predicted it, okay? Because the product was on sale, we knew that the new offer count was going to go up, so nothing to be worried about. But now we are in stock, and are we making sales? This is one of the big things. If you are making sales, good. If you are not making sales, maybe you need to start adjusting your repricing. Of course, you need to let it run for a few days. So if your item just became available, of course you are not going to have sales. But if your item has been on the listing for a little while, you haven't gotten any sale, it's maybe time to adjust your repricing rule a little bit. So what we will notice here is that the current buy box price for FBA is at 22.06, okay, because this is not an FBA offer. No, actually at 21.05, I'm sorry. So it is still in our range, so we are gonna keep the repricing strategy that we actually set when we actually bought this item and that we wrote down in the notes, okay? So for this item, we know that we wanted to sell it in between $20 to $23, so we are not going to adjust this, okay? We are not going to adjust this. We are going to set our minimum price to $20, our maximum price to $23, and we are going to set our repricing rule, okay? So for this case, I'm just going to use the match buy box rules. Watch my other videos in the Bqool Repricing rules. Yeah, you're going to get all my repricing rules. This is the repricing rule that I use 95% of the time, okay? So I do not use AI rules. So, yeah, so in this case, what we want to do as well is that, we just saw that the number of new offers went up. So there's one big thing. As I said, it's not a set it and forget it thing. So we are going to keep the exact repricing strategy that we set, but we are going to set a reminder, okay? We are going to write on a spreadsheet the specific ASIN and the next date at which we want to look at the product to see if the price is going to evolve, okay? Because we are not going to look at it every day. We have other things to do, okay? We do not want to do this every single day, but we are going to set a repricer. So what I would do for this specific ASIN is, and it is going to depend if this is a big thing, by the way. You want to check if the product is still available profitably, because if the product is still available profitably, you can assume that more new sellers are going to jump onto the listing, right? If the product is not available anymore profitably anywhere on the internet, it's fine. The number of new offers is probably going to go up a little bit because some people are still sending in their inventory, but this is slowly going to go down. And so the way you are going to adjust your repricing strategy is going to differ, okay? So that's the big thing. Now, what I would do is set on a spreadsheet, okay, so this specific ASIN, I want to check it again in 10 days, okay, because, for example, this ASIN, I want to check it again in 10 days because the reason why is because, and of course, this is going to work if you have a ton of stock, okay? If you just do test orders, you just buy 10 units here and there, it's not going to work. Usually I buy 2 months worth of inventory, not less, okay, most of the time. So yeah, so you set it on a spreadsheet to make sure that you actually go back to it, and so you sort your spreadsheet by date, and so you know that you need to do a second check, and you write if it's the second check, third check, all that stuff, and the plan for the future, okay? So my plan for the future for this ASIN, so let's assume that this ASIN is not available anymore anywhere else, so you make a quick assessment of the ASIN, okay? So this ASIN, for example, the number of new offers is going up, but I do not think that the new offer is going to skyrocket, okay? Because the ASIN is not on sale anymore on the place that I bought it. It's not available anywhere else online profitably, so the price is probably going to go a little bit back up to 23. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase my minimum price. I do not want my minimum price to be at 20, and I'm going to actually increase my minimum price to 21 to make sure that the price does not tank, because it would be really dumb to tank the price if the number of new offers is going to go down, okay? Let's the other guys sell out. Let the other guys sell out. The guys that want to cut the price, let them sell out and sell at a higher price, all right? So what I would do, I would write this on my spreadsheet, and I would say, okay, today's date is March 8th. I want to check this product again on March 18th and see how everything evolved, okay? And so on March 18th, you're going to check this product and you're going to see if you actually need to adjust your strategy, okay? Either if the price went down. If the price went down, you need to try to understand why, because the new offer count actually went up. Is the item still on sale? Do you assume that the sales, the new offer count is going to skyrocket? If yes, you need to adjust your strategy based on that, okay? So another case scenario that could happen, and let's take it here, is the price actually going down, okay? So you actually bought this ASIN right there. You are assuming that you could have been able to sell this ASIN at 33, and maybe not. If you look at all the data, maybe, it's just an example, but let's assume that you see that the price is going down right now, and same thing, but the product is not available on sale anywhere else. So in that case, if the product is actually, under, if I see that my product is under the minimum price is above the current buy box price, but the product is not available anymore, same thing, I'm just going to keep. And this is really a big thing when it comes to repricing. Do not panic. You need to understand the market. You need to really start understanding the market, okay? Repricing requires some skills. okay? And so stop being dumb. Stop being a dumbass. Try to understand the market and make decisions based on your understanding of the market, okay? So, for example, for this product, if the price has been going down, but this product is not on sale anywhere else anymore, and I assume that the price is going to bounce back, I'm just going to wait, okay? I'm just going to wait, and I will keep my exact repricing strategy. I will write in my notes, okay, the product is not on sale anymore. It is probably going to not tank further. Maybe it's going to tank further, maybe not. And this is just an example, okay? Because the price actually tanked further, all right? But it's just an example. Let's say that you assume that the price is not going to tank further at this specific point, okay? And you think that the price can go back up. So what you would do, and of course, this is not the case for this ASIN, okay? This product is a trash-ass product. Do not assume that it's going to be the case for this ASIN if you actually bought it, okay? It's a bad product. Do not do it. It's just for the sake of the example. But, yeah. If you assume that the price is going to go up, I would not change my repricing strategy, and same thing, I would say, hey, let me check back in 10 days, see how the price evolves, because I think that the price may actually go down a little bit, but let's actually make a decision in 10 days to either wait again or to actually decrease our minimum price, okay? And so in this case, I'm going to keep the minimum price that I set, I'm going to keep the maximum price that I set, and wait a little bit, okay? But if I see that the price actually tanked this way and then went up, okay, so I know that I'm probably going to need to sell this product around $19. I will not have any other choice, except if the product is really not available anywhere else anymore. And so, you know, you need to make, and this is a bad lead, by the way, do not go and buy this product, especially if you want to sell it at that price. You're never going to sell it at that price, okay? Yeah, the price that you're probably going to need to sell it around is in between $18 to $21 at best, but really at best. It's really unlikely that you actually sell it at 21, okay? Especially now since the price went up. But yeah, you really need to, what you need to understand is that you need to have multiple, you need to have multiple assessments. So you make a first assessment whenever you actually buy the product, then a second assessment whenever the product actually become available on your storefront, then a third assessment a few days after, depending on how you do your strategy. So it could be 10 days. It's really going to be on an ASIN to ASIN basic, and often you do not want to check your leads every day, except if it's a lead on which you have a ton of stock in which you placed a lot of money. But most of the time, checking those leads, every day and trying to see the evolution of the price, how the price evolve day after day is a bad idea. Because, of course, there are some days where the price is going to be lower, but, you know, sometimes it's just something that is going to last a few hours and the price is going to bounce back right after. And if you start making dumb decisions because you check your price every day, no, be a little bit more patient, okay? Trust your analysis, but you need to develop the skills, okay? And you need to develop an understanding of sales cycle. If you don't, you're going to make really dumb mistakes. You're going to lose a lot of money and you're going to make a ton of people panic, and you're going to make the ASIN tank, okay? So do not be that guy. Try to be a little bit more smart about it. And if you really need to liquidate, of course, liquidate. But do not be dumb, okay? That's pretty much it. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like, do all that YouTube stuff. Watch this video if you actually want to see my repricing rules, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. Thank you for watching.